Well, we missed some opportunities early on. We had a fourth down situation. I was trying to create some momentum, and they made a big play out of it. And it took us a little bit to recover from that. So, it was disappointing. We had some opportunities early on, but we just didn't convert it.
Ron, the four-game winning streak was powered by that run game. Unable to get that going today. What was going on there that they took that away so effectively?
Well, we really have to take a real good look at the tape to see exactly what was going on. But, they just they seem to be winning at the point of attack of the initial surge, and we'll see.
And then what did you think of the fourth down or the fumble ruling on the sack at the end?
Well, they looked at it, and from their perspective, it was one of those that it just wasn't enough to overturn, so they kept it where the original call was.
After a first half like that and a second half like that, what do you take away from this game ultimately?
Tale of two halves, honestly. We didn't play the way we're capable of in the first half. You got to give them credit. They made a couple of big plays. We didn't capitalize. We had a big interception, unfortunately, and we didn't do anything with it. They capitalized and put points on the board. And good football teams, you have to, because if you don't, other good football teams will keep you from coming back.
What do you attribute to the not winning a plan of attack and not being able to execute?
I'm going to take a good look at the tape and let you know.
When Taylor was in, just generally, what did you think of his play?
Well, I thought he had his moments. A couple times, I thought he was a little hesitant. I thought he held the ball a little bit more than he should have a couple times. But I thought he read some good reads. He tried to put the ball where he needed to put it a couple times, and he did. And then I think he got a little, kind of pressed a little bit. And I'd like to see him, get back to, taking what's out there and making those throws that he's capable of.
And losing James Smith-Williams and Casey Toohill.
I'm sorry, say it again.
Losing James Smith-Williams and Casey Toohill right before the start of the game, how much did that kind of impact things on the defensive line and the defense as a whole?
Well, the biggest thing it impacted was we had to play younger guys. That's an excuse. Those guys are professionals. The other guys that got their opportunities. They had their moments. They're young guys that made some mistakes, but I tell you, gave them some experience and an opportunity to play football.
Ryan, I want to go back to that first quarter, that 4th and 3 decision to go for it. Just take me
Yep.
through the thought process there of why you went for it there.
Well, we're at midfield, and I figured if we don't get it, we'll be at midfield. And I thought the defense started pretty soundly initially. I would have loved to, see if we could have, gotten the ball, to where we were hoping to get it. Unfortunately, we didn't get a chance to, and that was disappointing. But that was my thought process, and that's on me. That was my decision, nobody else's.
Leading up, there was so much build-up. There was that. It seemed like that fan base, the fans were juiced up. It seemed like they were ready to erupt. Is that kind of the disappointing part where you kind of didn't deliver when you had a full house in a sense?
Yeah, it is disappointing. I feel like I let them down. I wanted them out here to cheer for us, and we should have given them a better first half. We gave them a very good second half, something to cheer about in the second half. If we put two halves together, we'll deliver. But that's football, and that's what happens.
You were mentioning a tale of two halves. How would you compare today's game of the tale of two halves to when some of the previous games when the team was struggling?
The first half got a little bit away from us in terms of the score. That was disappointing. And again, it did start with the fourth down decision that I made because they made a big play and they were able to score off of that as well. Coming out in the second half, I thought the guys came out with some resolve. I thought they got physical, especially with that first drive where we got it to midfield and then Taylor threw the big ball to Cam. That was a big play. But then to continue to fight and to battle and give themselves a chance to go down and score again and then get the takeaway and score, we put ourselves in position. And we've got to come out with that kind of energy earlier. We forced them to kick a field goal on their first drive when they got down near the red zone. I thought that was a plus, but then we got a takeaway and we didn't convert there. That's tough. When you get an opportunity to put some points on the board, you got to put them on the board.
Ron, two things. On Gibson's fumble, did you think they went low on Heineke at all when he
Yes.
threw the ball?
Yes, I really did. That was one of the discussions I had. I really felt that was, and that's more about protecting the quarterback.
And somewhat to Scott's point, I mean, this was kind of a big game for a lot of different reasons. I know the results you wanted, so how do you kind of recover because you got to go to Philly next week?
Absolutely. Well, because we control our own destiny. We have an opportunity to do something. We got 4 games left, all 4 in the division. Some interesting things can happen. somebody else can lose a game or two as well, and who knows? And I told our players that, that we control it. We take them one at a time. We got Philly coming up. We know that. I told the guys we'll get through this tomorrow, and then we'll start focusing on getting ready for Philadelphia. It's one of those things too that, like I said, the Washington football team versus Dallas should be a big game like it was today. We just got to play better.
Another fumble for Antonio. Where do you go from here? Do you change maybe
No.
the message to him?
No, you keep talking to him, you keep coaching him, you keep teaching him. He's a young man. He's a second-year player. He's shown that he can be a guy that can grind it out, have a good stretch, played 4 good weeks of football. We're not going to change anything other than making sure he understands how important it is to protect the football.
What did you make of the atmosphere, and did you get that turnout that you were looking for?
It was kind of cool. It really was, Even though there were a few more Dallas fans that I would have liked, it was good to hear our folks. It really was, especially down the stretch in the fourth quarter. They came alive, and it really kind of helped us, and then unfortunately we had the last turnover that just kind of deflated everything. But up until that point, that's what I'm looking for. I'm hoping we can continue to build that. We can do something special in the next couple of weeks, hopefully, and then give them something to cheer about later on. But first off, we gotta get to Philadelphia.
And during that win streak, you guys were really able to establish an identity, and I know the game got away from the run, the reasons for that, but what did you kind of make of? Did you feel like you guys were still able to play with an identity today, or?
I think we tried to. We tried to be physical. We tried to continue to run the ball, and again, you got to get to where you can get 3 and 4 yards a carry, so that you're in third downs, you're 3rd and 3, you're 3rd and 4, where you can have more success. And again, that's something we'll continue to work on, and we'll get better with it.
And quickly, just what did you make of Kyle?
I like what Kyle did until the very end. Obviously, you'd like for him to protect the ball a little bit better, but he's trying to make a play. I get that part of it, but sometimes you just take what's given to you as well. And he made a mistake, and he'll learn. And again, we'll keep working.
This next week, he's still your starter?
Yeah, if he's healthy, he's our starter.
On the missed extra point at the end, it did end up mattering, or the block rather. Tim came on really late. Was he filling in for someone, or is he normally out there?
Well, he was normally out there.
Okay.
What happened was Tim, coming off the field after we had just gotten the takeaway score, and kind of forgot his place.